Hello, I'm Gareth Jones, sports editor at BBC Radio Leeds. Welcome to our Saturday football preview video. Just like our Saturday show, this is a dedicated one for Huddersfield Town. On Saturday, they are away at Norwich City in the Championship. Myself, Paul Ogden, the man alongside me, and the returning Kieran O'Regan will be bringing you exclusive commentary of that match and our dedicated pre- and post-match Huddersfield Town show on BBC Radio Leeds 774 AM and DAB digital radio from 2 o'clock on Saturday. So please do join us for that. And as always, Oggy, the team news is the key debate. We know Chris Powell likes to tinker and try to outthink his opposition. Could we therefore see another tactical change at Norwich on Saturday?
I'm in the habit of expecting it now, Gaz, because Chris Powell is such an analyst, such a meticulous preparer of his teams. He knows that Norwich are under pressure. They are somewhere just outside the top six, Norwich, but they have failed at home more than once this season. They can concede goals at home as well. I think Brighton got 3 against them. So Town, on the back of what was a really good performance against Brentford, I think should be confident in their own resources. And judging by the length of the staff meeting that he had on Tuesday when I was waiting to interview him, and I never got my interview, I think there'll be some very serious science going into this match at Carrow Road. I'm not going to pretend to be able to anticipate the team changes, Gaz, and actually there is some logic in him saying, look, just go out and do the same thing, because they were so efficient against Brentford. Hogg did his job particularly well.
Do you think they were defensively better with the 3 there and Hogg back? Because that'll be the concern going to Norwich. They need to be defensively much better away from home.
But the opposition's different every time, Gaz, and that's why there is always such an uncontrollable as far as we're concerned as observers. I would like to see him play 3 at the back again, because I don't think Norwich have got that much up front. I like Cameron Jerome as a bloke. He's from Huddersfield after all. I think Lafferty's dangerous. I think Hooper has his moments. But if Town can defend like they did last week, I think they could actually go to Carrow Road and get something. The last time Town won at Carrow Road is a very long time ago. They've only played there once in the last decade, and they got a real pasting when Norwich were chasing promotion to the Premier League. So, to answer your question, for once, if you left it up to me, I would leave them as they are.
So you'd keep Vaughan on the bench and Grant Holt and Nahki Wells playing
Yes,
together, because he does like to play one up front away, apart from Bolton, and it went wrong at Bolton.
Well, it's often gone wrong away from home, Gaz, and I'm sure we're going to get onto that. When Town lose, they tend to lose big away from home, and that has been the obvious Achilles heel this season. And I'm sure that Chris Powell is trying to fix that, whether it's pre-match routines, whether it's choice of hotel, whether it's training before they leave or training once they get there. It might even be down to something like that, Gaz. These days, in the Championship, I don't see much difference between playing at home and away. I know we're not supposed to say that, but the culture of football these days in the Championship is for people to largely sit on their hands. Norwich have got a quiet home crowd, just like many others have, and if Town can get themselves right, it shouldn't matter what stadium they're playing in. And I would personally rather see an opportunity develop for Holt and Nahki Wells to play together, even though their days are numbered together, we understand, because Holt is going to go back to Wigan. So leave them be. They played so well against Brentford.
I would expect Murray Wallace to keep his place in the side.
Yeah.
Joel Lynch is injured. Don't think Anthony Gerrard will come straight in.
No, because I think Chris Powell is a fair manager, and he's quite conservative in his choices of personnel sometimes. Anthony Gerrard hasn't had much intensity of match day in recent months, to say the least. He really has been on the sidelines. I'm really pleased to see him on the bench, but that really is only because Joel Lynch is injured. Joel Lynch would be first pick. Murray Wallace deserves his chance, and I think he played well last week against Brentford. But I would say Wallace is a long-term prospect. Mark Lillis made us all raise our eyebrows last week in the commentary box when he said, I can see Murray Wallace being the future Huddersfield Town captain. What a compliment that is from the head of the academy. They obviously rate him very highly, Murray Wallace, and this is a rare chance for him to take responsibility alongside Mark Hudson. Again, leave him be.
So you've touched on it. Norwich don't actually have the best home form. They're better away from home this season. Town are the opposite, something that was their Achilles heel last season as well. So it's not a new phenomenon. However, do you think the performances away have actually been better than the results suggest? So actually, again, it's maybe these fine margins Chris Powell talks about instead of major problems.
Yeah, Fulham away, Derby away recently, Gaz. They have been really good examples of what you describe, where the team play well but don't win. And that, I think, is where Town find themselves at the moment. Chris Powell's own managerial record as Huddersfield Town boss speaks for itself. Played 15, he's won 5, drawn 5 and lost 5. It's not a team with a whole stack of problems, but it's a team who, if they tweak one or two things in the right direction, could make a really serious improvement to their record. Again, if things had gone their way at Fulham, maybe one or two refereeing decisions had gone their way, they might have come back home with 3 points. Derby, they were better beaten by a better side, but for a team like Norwich, who have got talent but a very flabby squad, a very inflated squad, having come down from the Premier League, I think Town could go there and take advantage of them if they can produce momentum, continuity. They need a string of positive results. That's something they've not really managed this season.
Just finally, key battle?
For me, the key battle is at the back for Town. If they can keep Jerome, Hooper, and I think Lafferty's got a chance of starting tomorrow at Carrow Road. If they can keep a Jerome or a Lafferty quiet, I think Town have got enough to actually get a couple of goals at Carrow Road tomorrow, because I think Norwich defence is not happy with pace against them. Pick Naki Wells, and he'll do damage.
That's a message from Paul Ogden. We will take him seriously, even though he's not in his Christmas jumper, disappointingly. Oggy, myself, Gareth Jones and Kieran O'Regan will bring you our dedicated Huddersfield Town show and exclusive commentary of Town away at Norwich City, live from Carrow Road on BBC Radio Leeds, 774 AM and DAB Digital Radio on Saturday from 2 o'clock. So we'll speak to you then.